Welcome into DC On Screen episode 356. This is our DCEU news episode. That means film, y'all. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. I don't have anything to really talk about right now. This is Jason Goss.
Hey!
There's so much DCEU news.
It's piled up.
I'm just gonna jump in, and I promise we'll probably have some time for we'll have some time for bat wieners, but we're gonna jump right in. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
And keep listening, guys, because at the very end we do finish out our giveaway number 4, which is the final.
Woohoo!
As we mentioned a few weeks ago, is the final giveaway for the trade paperback, Blu-ray, and DVD. So, randomly, before we get into the stuff that I'm really excited about, randomly, the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood, California is apparently going to be screening 1978's Superman the Movie on Sunday, April 16th at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be a double bill with The Day the Earth Stood Still, the old Robert Wise film. Solid movie. I'm not sure those go together, but still solid. And it's apparently a 35 millimeter print, and it has the original sound mix. So that's
cool.
This is the closest you're going to get to spinning around the world backwards and going back in time and seeing this thing.
Yeah, like if you're a film buff, like a true back in the day buff, yeah, that's your ticket right there.
And if you're in Hollywood, California, or
you probably are.
Yeah. So Val Kilmer, poor guy.
No.
He has a Batman pitch for somebody he thinks is Michael Keaton. He tweeted at this guy who's clearly not the Michael Keaton.
Excellent.
And he says, "I've got a pitch. You, me, Clooney, and Bale all do bad guy cameos in the next Batman, and Affleck kills us all."
Okay, that sounds funny. I'm with him so far.
I would see it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Clooney, speaking of George Clooney, they were talking to him at Cinemacon. He has a pretty weird reason for not seeing Batman v Superman. He says, "I haven't seen it, because I feel like Batman died with me. As you can imagine, don't you guys feel the same way? Let me just point this out. I wore a rubber suit and giant rubber nipples, and I still have a career." I don't know what point he's trying to get across, but Batman most certainly did not die with you, buddy. There have been 3 wildly successful movies afterward, and then a Superman movie, and then a sequel to that again has Batman in it that was still wildly successful, no matter what you may have thought about it.
And then a ragtag, not superhero film that still has Batman in it. Is he actually trying to say that like his career is so successful that probably sexful too, that when he does a character, it is the end of that character?
I don't know.
Like if he does a production of Hamlet, is Shakespeare done?
All these years he's been saying that he killed Batman in Batman and Robin. Maybe we were taking it the wrong way.
Hey, I thought he meant he made it too stupid.
Let's be fair. He didn't. He could have done a good job, but
it wasn't his fault that thing went tits up. But as much shit as we give the Nolan universe, Dark Knight was a pretty damn good film. So,
it was.
Like what?
Batman Begins was pretty
damn good film. So what are we doing here? It's a confusing statement. I would like him to elaborate. I need him to drink less of his tequila and give me a more clarified statement.
No, I think I'm in...
Or way more, and then keep talking.
Yeah, like I'm sort of over here going, tell us more,
yeah,
Clooney.
Yeah. Bartender, 3 more shots.
West spoke of a ranch in New Mexico. What have you?
What would you pitch?
Space zombies, I'll be bound. So Gary Oldman was talking about J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon.
All right.
He was at Cinemacon as well. He says, J.K. Simmons doesn't need any advice from me. He's a wonderful actor. I'm intrigued to see what he does with it. I'm looking forward to it. Gordon was very good to me, so I wish him a lot of luck. I'm excited for him.
Okay.
And that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that even someone like Gary Oldman's like, look, J.K. Simmons doesn't need anything from me. He's got this. That's right, Oldman.
I don't think I need to give that guy any tips. Oh, the When I watched The Dark Knight in theater the first time, that was the moment that got the most cheers. The reveal that Gordon was still alive.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, that was the loudest moment in the theater when I was watching it live that Friday night.
That's interesting.
I was a little surprised myself, but we were all very happy. There was clapping and cheering and stuff.
In my theater, the biggest moment was when Ledger first appeared. All that when he first came in like that. Not the no, maybe it was when he said stranger. Whatever kills you makes you. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stranger.
None of that got it. A lot of that was oh yeah, it was deep, visceral,
my theater,
almost inappropriate groans when he was doing that stuff. But yeah, the most outright fanish reaction was Gordon's reveal.
The two Joker reveals got the biggest applause. The biggest groan I got in that movie got in my audience was when he did the magic pencil disappearing act. He slams that dude's head down. Everyone in the theater went, "Oh!"
Somebody behind me audibly went, "Oh shit!" And that was me with the giant smile going, "Yes." I was happy as I could be. Anyway,
I was just not my Joker, but I'll deal with this.
No,
what's up?
That's a good gag. Sorry, that's A, kind of funny. B, extremely homicidal. That's a Joker moment. That was good.
Yeah, that was good stuff. All right, so now we're going to talk about everything we know about Joss Whedon's Batgirl.
Okay, hit me. Although, this by the way, is that the first time we've announced Joss Whedon's Batgirl on our show?
That is.
Okay. So, I don't have the canned applause to actually apply, but I would.
Right.
If we were the kind of people who spliced in extra audio to our show, we would have Oscar-worthy canned applause for this, probably.
Yeah, now this is, so I've heard people, people just assume that I'm going to be super excited about this. I'm not.
Okay, maybe I would just have the super excited canned applause.
Right. I want to be. And if it's real, I'm super excited about it. But they have completely destroyed any possibility of me believing this.
You're gun shy.
I'm very gun shy.
Yeah, I understand. I completely understand.
Because, while the clickbait all says, Joss Whedon will write and direct DCEU's Batgirl, what I read is, yeah, maybe.
Joss Whedon has talked to someone.
Because
while holding a pen about Batgirl.
Right. According to Variety's Dave McNary, he's nearing a deal to write, direct, and produce a solo Batgirl film.
So was Matt Reeves.
Well, Matt Reeves is official now.
He is official now, but for a second, that wasn't going to work out.
That's right. So until they say it's official, Joss Whedon is going to do this, I will curb my enthusiasm. Even
then, I have to admit, as much as I would like to pull out the Oscar applause, you're probably right about pulling that probably now, should put my dick in my pants. Because even then, until he shows up on set, still not sure.
Right. And, but then you also have Rick Famuyiwa, Seth Grahame-Smith. These
all showed up on set.
They were all showed up on set. They were all had contracts. They were all going to do it, and now they're not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very cautious about my expectations. This is a big deal for me. Joss Whedon directing a Batgirl. I'm back in the day, and I don't know if he listens to this, but my old buddy Chris Glennon, he and I used to talk about this stuff all the time. I had a pitch. I told him one time, instead of Birds of Prey, they need to be doing a Batgirl series like Buffy, have Joss Whedon do the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Back when he was a TV guy, yeah.
Absolutely. And we talked about that crap for hours, how it would go on to her being in college, her big, love interest was, her angel, essentially, was Dick Grayson.
Yeah. That would be fantastic. Not when we get it all on spin-off series, I'm sure, in your head.
Yeah. So, it was perfect for that.
Oh, that all sounds glorious. And yeah. We already know he can do it. I mean, Buffy's one of the all-time well-written characters. Even the ancillary, supporting characters in Buffy are just well-rounded.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If you were only going to be there for a week, you only got the treatment for someone being there for a week. But most of the characters in that show went through huge arcs.
Mm-hmm.
It was I don't know, wonderful female characters. And
once you get to the Nightwing show, you introduce the Titans. You have the whole Coriander thing with Dick, and her being like, "You'll never get over Babs." And,
it'd be glorious.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
On through to Oracle.
Yeah.
Look, solo Batgirl film. Here's what we know. They're saying again. Dave McNary over Variety says that Toby Emmerich and John Berg and Jeff Johns are all going to be overseeing this thing. He says the project originated in the past month.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big meeting between Whedon, Berg, and Johns. Now, if you don't know who Joss Whedon is, if somehow you haven't listened to this show, because maybe Stan Lee is right. Maybe every podcast, like a comic book, is somebody's first. So,
quick recap.
Joss Whedon wrote, directed the Avengers Age of Ultron, for the biggest property that you could think of.
The most money involved.
Created and worked the hell out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, Firefly, Dollhouse. He created Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though he hasn't been around too much on that one.
But his brother, still killing it over there.
Yeah, wrote Cabin in the Woods. There's a lot of stuff we could talk about. He wrote the Astonishing X-Men comic. He's done a lot of stuff, and he's a good cat as far as writing and directing and producing is concerned. I would love to see him take on Batgirl. Now, Anthony Breznican?
Sure.
Breznican? I'm sorry, Anthony. I don't know.
We're never right about these things.
I can't do this.
It's a standard.
It's a tough one.
Do what you do.
I'll link you, buddy, but I don't know how to say that name. Over at EW, he says sources tell him that the version of Batgirl will be Barbara Gordon, and that it'll be based on the New 52 version of the character, specifically the darker Gail Simone storyline before the Batgirl of Burnside happened, which I kind of really dug Batgirl of Burnside. But I love Gail Simone as well. Like this woman, as far as I'm concerned, is Oracle. She's written so much Birds of Prey, so much Batgirl in her life. And, Barbara Gordon is the reason she got into comics, so.
Nice.
But yeah, apparently the storyline is going to, and, obviously this is all rumor. This hasn't been announced, and it could change. But this will be post-Oracle, if it actually does follow through with the New 52 books. As she's had this experimental surgery, now she's Batgirl again. But she's still, haunted by the events of the Killing Joke.
Awesome.
So, yeah. And here's another weird thing. Lindsay Morgan, who was an actress on The 100, that's her biggest role thus far. Not a few months ago, I'm stupid. March. It was last March 13th.
Some distant time ago.
Long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away there. Now, she says on Twitter, first NYC audition, check. First NYC acting class, check. First NYC Blizzard, check. And then, let's see if I can get past all the emoticons. I don't know. This was sometime a little after. I didn't put down the date for some reason. Welp, new project on the horizon, and I'm more than ecstatic about it. Thank you, everyone, for your support and love. This has people thinking that she might be Batgirl because of the timing of the tweets, and also the fact that she has retweeted and liked reports of the Batgirl news breaking with Whedon. And she has retweeted speculation of her playing the role. Now, some people might be pissed if this actually comes to fruition, and it's her. I don't know her as far as being an actress. I know that she's super hot. That's what I could tell you about her.
I don't
know anything about her actually acting. I only found out about her today as I was doing prep for the show. She's very, very attractive. But some people are going to be pissed about her if she is her because she looks Hispanic because she's of Irish and Hispanic descent. But you know what? They did that in the Lego movie, so there's already precedent. And, Irish and Hispanic, that'll work, right?
Yeah, whatever, man. A little. I mean...
I know. There's just so many angry people out there. I'm trying to make them a little happy.
They'll be okay. I did just look her up, and she could pull off Batgirl.
Oh, she could totally pull off Batgirl.
Yeah.
Totally. She plays Raven Reyes on the 100. Again, a show I've never seen.
No idea.
Now, there have also been a lot of reports. I've seen a lot of griping online about Joss Whedon. Like, I actually saw a headline that was like something like the self-proclaimed feminist taking or erasing the voice of women by taking a female superhero away from a female director.
What?
Oh my gosh, guys! Like, I've seen this argument floating around.
Calmate.
And what? I only mention that because I'm going to bring this into it. Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins says, I don't know if that deal is done or not. I don't have the inside scoop on that. But if it is done, then I am excited about it. I think it's super exciting. The tone of Joss's work is great for female superheroes. He takes such a fun approach, and I think he'll have fun in the DC universe, which will be excited to have him.
Damn straight.
Now, Gail Simone, the woman I just spoke about, who's written so much Oracle and Batgirl, she reacted thusly. Hey, Joss, do Batgirl good and I will love you forever. At the actual news popping up, she said, holy shit, I'm kind of freaking out just a tiny bit, you guys. Okay, my email DMs and messages have been flooded about Batgirl and I can't keep up, so here's a quick thread to address a few things. Yes, I am ridiculously excited. When I started comics movies featuring Wonder Woman and Batgirl seemed like faraway dreams no more. Second, I found out about it yesterday, the same time you all did. I barely know anything about it, just the same news you all saw. So I don't have any answers yet. I just hope it's all real. Yes, I'm excited Joss is directing. I met him only once after the Wonder Woman movie fell apart. This is Joss's old Wonder Woman movie from back in the day.
Yeah.
He very clearly cared a lot about Diana, so I am excited. The fact they got him for Batgirl shows a serious commitment. It won't be some bland spin-off. She goes on at arm's length. Like, there's a whole thread. You guys can go check her out on Twitter. In fact, why aren't you anyway? But yeah, so I think that's a big loogie in the face of these people claiming that he's like taking the bread out of the mouth of women directors for this.
Just doesn't work also, like that.
Why does a woman director have to do a woman superhero anyway? I mean, Patty Jenkins looks like she could just do the next Batman movie for all I care.
From what I've seen, hell yeah. Knock that out, girl. I don't care. Good is good. Kidding me?
So yeah, super excited about Whedon if it's true, and he does it. I'd love to see it. Moving on to Wonder Woman news, Patty Jenkins was talking about the armpit hair debacle. She said that was truly hilarious. One day those stories will be told about the laughs that happened behind closed doors about like the misconceptions there. I don't know what that means, but that's weird. That's interesting.
I don't even want to try to dissect that. I just don't.
I want to know what was said.
We have reported it, and I will look no further into it.
Come on, man. Armpit hair is so important.
Oh, clearly.
So there was the WonderCon bit. Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns were talking, and Patty says, I love any superhero origin story just because I think that the birth of superheroes, for many of us, is the idea of being a child, of being a person who connects with these kinds of characters, who end up getting the opportunity to make a difference in the world. I'm a big believer in the tradition of using these stories as a way to explore every single kind of person's hopes and dreams for being a better person, a more powerful person in the world, and making a great choice when they get that chance. She also talked about...
Sounds solid. I don't know.
Yeah, she talked a little bit about her passion for superhero films from seeing Superman in theaters when she was 7.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I couldn't believe the effect that movie had on me. I was Superman. It didn't matter who I was, and it didn't matter where I was. I was that little boy who ripped his shirt and picked up a car. I was that character who faced those challenges and felt human.
Awesome.
She says, when it comes to Wonder Woman, she's my favorite superhero, but she's one of the biggest, most well-known classic superheroes of the genre, and the fact that nobody has gotten to make her origin story is so important that every superhero get their day and their origin story, and hers is beautiful and wonderful and one that deserved to be told.
Completely agree. I haven't really heard anything out of Patty Jenkins that I didn't just think, yeah, man, let's do it.
No.
Yeah.
She also talked about the character's balance of strength and compassion. She said she's not the only character who has a strong moral compass and a belief system, of course, but what I like about her is that is her mission. Her mission is a belief of mankind, and what they can be, and it's a moral belief system. She's one of the very few who believes in goodness and kindness and justice and love, who comes to our world hoping to instill that in other people, but is willing to use force if that's what she must do to keep mankind safe. Jeff Johns talked about Wonder Woman a bit. He says, in the 90s, I was reading the same articles you guys would. Like someone says a female superhero won't work, which I find ridiculous. You won't hear that again.
Nice. Nice. You gotta love the confidence of that.
Yeah. Which everyone's ignoring that. Like, they're all ignoring that, and they're bringing up, like, the fact that someone asked him at the same place. They asked him about a possible sequel to Wonder Woman, and he says, I can't confirm that. So they're like, he has no confidence in the franchise. No, man. He has no idea what it's going to make. That's what...
No,
This is a new beast.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I mean, the last female superhero movie we had was, what, Tank Girl? And before that, Supergirl with Helen Slater? Like, no. No. We can't trust this yet.
No. Like, we live in a world where, like, just as you talked about earlier, we don't trust the WB anymore, just in general. Mm-mm. So him saying I can't confirm that is not, I mean, that's bread and butter, man. That's not new.
So Patty Jenkins talked a little bit about the script, and she talked about the Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, or Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman love angle in the movie. She says it has a Casablanca feel, which I don't think we've seen in this universe before, which sounds cool.
Sure.
Like, it sounds like it, does not have a happy ending for them. Which I'm kind of cool with.
Well, I guess it shouldn't. I mean, it's an era piece to when he's involved, I suppose. So, yeah.
Well, didn't they like freeze him in the comics though, or did they just update it? I don't.
I'd retconned him or froze him. I'm not sure. Probably both at one point.
I don't know.
If we're being honest.
I can't keep that crap straight sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I am no Jeff Johns, by the way. Yahoo Movies asked Pine and Patty Jenkins about Chris Pine being, quote, a dude in distress.
I like that.
Pine says, the question does not serve us anything but this narrative of does not serve us anything but this narrative of hierarchy. What you're asking almost flips the script, and the question is, do I enjoy being the second? I think this is a movie about parody. This is a movie about two people bringing a lot to the table with completely disparate qualities. She happens to be a superhero. I happen to be definitely not. But there's no judgment or discussion or conversation in the narrative about a hierarchy. It's not a matriarchal structure. It's not a patriarchal structure. It's just human beings trying to figure out how to live in this awful world. Jenkins said, I don't know why I said it that way. This is the South coming out of me. Like, Jenkins. Jenkins says,
Patty.
Patty Jenkins. She says, I don't think anybody wants that out of any love interest, not either gender, and that's why it was so fun to do. I don't think we looked at it that way. Who's got the upper hand? Who's got the lower hand? This is a love story about a character who comes to this world who needs to meet people who help her guide the way. So with the WonderCon and the Cinemacon,
love all that,
and all the cons. Oh yeah, all the cons and all. They've released high-res images of Wonder Woman, about 20 of them, it looks like. But I've seen all these before. They may have been in low-res or in trailers, but I've seen all this before, so I'm not really going into it. Mm-hmm. You can dig around if you want to.
They're out there.
Sorry. This is me being a shitty host.
Nah, it's out there. We've covered it before.
Yeah. On to Justice League. There was a big rumor running around that... people were just slamming the hell out of Justice League. IMDb is reporting that the movie is 170 minutes long. That's just like 10 minutes shy of 3 hours. This is ridiculous. It's going to be even longer than BVS, etc., etc.
Right.
John Berg tweeted at Zack Snyder, disappointed the Justice League movie is only 170 minutes. Also curious, as movie isn't finished yet, but IMDb knows exact running time? And right. Zack Snyder responds to John Berg and says, forgot to tell you that I screened the first cut of Justice League for IMDb. Thought that was standard WB procedure. No? So, You guys can pack that away. That's not true. Just calm down.
No, just let your bladders relax. It may not be that long.
DC fans don't like to let their bladders release or relax.
Relax. Just tell them not to worry so much. Now, it is still a Snyder film, and you may still want to make sure you get the small, even though they suggest that extra 50 cents is going to be so much worth it. You may still want to get the small.
Right.
Not saying it's not going to be a long film.
Sorry. I was intending to make a crack about the fact that DC fans are furious with Kevin Smith over that one
the release
book that he wrote.
Yeah,
where he had the bomb and the shock wave from the bomb actually made him piss himself, and they all got mad.
Which I don't know is apparently true. I don't know. I didn't know where to.
It is true. It's.
I just kind of went. That's a funny point, and moved on.
Yeah, apparently that was sacrilegious to make Batman piss himself. Oh man! So there are new rumors that say that the Thanagarians are going to be in Justice League, and the rumors completely come, not even primarily, completely come from the Amazon versus Apocalypse frames. I'm not even going to say scenes. They are literal frames that we get out of this trailer that was released a couple of weeks ago. And they point out that a couple of the parademons look like they're being fired at by the Apocalypse armies, and they don't quite look like parademons. I can kind of see it, but it's so blurry and so small, I can't. They think that these people are Thanagarians, though.
All right, well,
which it would be cool.
It's out there, okay.
I'd be down. Whatever.
Not again it. I just need something a little more than a blurry photo,
Right. So, which, the Hawks not being in Legends of Tomorrow anymore might be a red flag for that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there are rumors that Jared Leto might be in Justice League because he was at Cinemacon to promote Blade Runner 2049, and he took a picture with Zack Snyder, and he was hanging out with the Justice League crew after, and apparently that means that he's going to be in the movie. I don't think that means anything.
No, not necessarily.
So, tuck it back in, guys.
Yep.
So yeah, Cinemacon, as everyone thought, Ben Affleck showed up with Zack Snyder and Jason Momoa and Henry Cavill, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, Patty Jenkins. Did it again, Jenkins. Chris Pine. Gal Gadot was at home with her baby, but she sent a video message. Jason Momoa said Justice League. He said he's seen it, and it's the greatest movie in the world.
That guy doesn't half-ass even a comment, man.
I know.
He doesn't walk up a hill, he rolls up it.
All right. He then said he was leaving for Australia that night to shoot for Aquaman, and they showed video filled with concept art for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about how great this is and how, I haven't seen it obviously, but apparently Black Manta's costume is on point and comic book accurate, so that's cool.
Cool, yeah. I wondered if they'd go so far.
Now, Zack Snyder showed off an extended version of the trailer. Yeah, something we haven't seen.
No.
And the descriptions from the Hollywood Reporter are as such. Alfred tells Bruce Wayne that his employer has been working like there is no tomorrow trying to assemble the team. Soon we're in a Wayne warehouse where he's working on a giant vehicle. Bruce remarks that he spent millions of dollars on the security for the building, and Wonder Woman says he's got his money's worth because it took her almost a minute to disable it. He says the vehicle he's working on is a troop carrier. I'm guessing that's the Flying Fox. Later in the footage, they say Batman and Barry Allen are out of costume, standing on a roof, and they see the bat signal. Barry goes, "Oh, awesome, it's the bat signal. That's your signal." And then he apologizes for speaking too loudly about it. And he says, "That means we have to go now. That's so cool."
That's awesome, though. You get this little Robin dynamic for half a second.
Yeah. I should point out they did show some Wonder Woman footage, but it was all stuff that I felt like had been described to us pretty thoroughly from the reporters going and doing the set visits and stuff. So
we covered that pretty thickly.
Yeah. Zack Snyder was talking about Justice League, though. He says Justice League is a culmination of a journey that for me has been 7 years. I'm a huge fan of these characters, and this is a dream come true to bring them all together in this single film. So, wrote praise for the thing and happiness, and you got to show that you're excited about it.
Yeah, of course.
That's fine. I'm sure he actually is. I'm just
yeah,
pulling it down. So the thing that I'm most excited about, though, is the Aquaman stuff. Oddly enough, Jim Vizvoda.
Sure.
I don't know. Had this to say about it: Aquaman concept art footage looks epic. Sci-fi underwater with a Lord of the Rings vibe to its design too. Lots of creatures. Manta Helma looks accurate. James Wan at Cinemacon introduced a lot of concept art. Now, here's the cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are reporting this. The concept art looks like a space battle, like a dogfight space battle. And everyone apparently thought that the images in the distance were ships going into battle. But, as James Wan says, it's not until the ships get so close to you that you realize that they're not spaceships. Those are humans riding sharks. Armored sharks.
Awesome. If he gives me armored sharks riding into battle, I will forgive everything I've ever said.
What have you said?
I was dubious before. I really was. I remember thinking, I don't know. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but...
But armored sharks is a get out of jail free card for me. Sorry, just is.
The more I see of James Wan, and I still haven't seen anything he's ever made because I'm not a horror guy. Aside from
no
Sam
idea,
Raimi
he's a completely new character. So I was just kind of, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Armored sharks, man. You'll,
yeah.
I mean, you're good.
People riding sharks. Yeah, I mean that sounds crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with that.
Now, I'm sad though. Like now, I'm gonna be real disappointed if that's not a real thing.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I doubt he would have shown that concept art if there weren't going to be armored sharks being ridden by Atlanteans. I
don't know. I've had stranger experiences. Hopefully, I'm just gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna be hopeful.
Yeah. Now I'm a little worried because they did say that like the effects for Aquaman wouldn't have been possible 5 years ago, which means that we're dealing with some new effects. Some
cutting edge stuff that may or may not have gotten the budget and time it needed.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman is talking about, I mean, she is officially at Atlanna, and I want to say Atlanna because I don't want to say Atlanna. But she's talking about why she's officially Atlanna in Aquaman, the mother of Aquaman there.
Mm-hmm.
She says, the reason why I love Aquaman is James Wan is an Australian, which doesn't sound great at first. She says, I've followed his career since he started. He's a really good friend of mine, and he offered to let me play Queen Atlanna. As soon as he said I could wear Mother of Pearl and be a mermaid warrior, I said, I'm done. Please. If there's one thing I have to do in my life, I have to be that.
Yep.
Now, a couple weeks ago, and we didn't talk about it then, because I kind of dismissed it, but then I actually looked at the footage, and I'll be damned if it isn't really cool. Amber Heard has posted on Instagram video of her training. Actually, I think we did mention it, but damn, she's doing a good job. That looks good.
We mentioned there was training footage out there, and we're like, but I think at some point it was like, it's like Momoa training and some people training, and just like, we don't care about the gym part.
Yeah.
Which is also true, but every now and then training footage, I guess, can be kind of cool.
Oh man, she was like throwing dudes around. It was awesome.
Nice.
So forced to be reckoned, Queen Mara.
Get
down, guys.
This person
happening.
We were so afraid was withering in health about a year ago.
Yeah.
Tossing dudes around now.
She's tossing dudes around, and doesn't look like Johnny Depp throwing a phone in her face did anything to her. So
apparently not.
I mean, not in the wrong
allegedly.
Run, anyway.
I don't know. I have no idea if that's alleged or not allegedly. I have no idea.
I have
completely new information for me.
I have no idea.
No idea what Jack Sparrow's been up to in his private time.
Now that Hunter's gone, I don't know what he's doing these days.
I did know a lot more about him when Hunter was around. Hunter S. Thompson, for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah, I knew a lot more about Johnny Depp. When,
which you know, it's a bummer.
And John Cusack of all things.
Oh yeah, John Cusack too. You know what a bummer though is that I read a piece of a memoir or memoir, if you want to say it that way, from Hunter S. Thompson's son. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Hunter S. Thompson was just a piece of shit, dude. Like, the way he talked to his kid and treated his kid makes me never want to read another Hunter S. Thompson book ever.
I completely believe that.
Yeah, like there was like no part of me that disbelieved it. Like, there was like I read like this like excerpt of a memoir, and I was like, that sounds completely true.
No, I mean, if I remember the details correctly, when Hunter killed himself, like people were in the house, they thought like a book had fallen off a shelf.
Yeah.
He would have been one of the people in the house, if I remember.
I mean, this is a dude who called his kid a waterhead bastard for like interrupting his football game. Screw that guy. I just, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I get angry about this stuff.
It was a different generation to give it some mitigation, but no, it's not an acceptable thing. But at the same time, like there were a lot of people in that era where, like, I mean, I love John Lennon to death, like his public persona. Yeah, I know. But
did Mark David Chapman.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a huge fan. That was part of the reason he got there. But I love his public persona. I love his songs and a lot of what he put down on tape. But you know, privately, he was a dickhead just a lot of the time.
Yeah,
like wife beater. Early on in his life,
was he a wife beater?
Yeah, he beat Cynthia Lennon a few times.
Oh man,
like it would start a fight with friends of his. More like Stuart Sutcliffe was one of the infamous fights where he kicked his head on the grounded him and then kicked his head in the middle of an alley. I mean, this was a dear friend of his. Like, this is a guy that when he learned he died, he cried and didn't know what to do with himself for a week. These were dear friends, and he didn't know. He'd still beat him.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I always think that McCartney's one of the all-time great diplomats is because I don't remember ever hearing that Lennon punched McCartney. I keep thinking, oh man, he must have been good with words. Lennon was an angry man.
So the next time you decide to whip out Imagine as your happy, peaceful anthem, remember that John Lennon was a huge dick.
Yeah. I'm sorry to do that to anyone who didn't know that.
John Lennon was a huge dick who actually came out. I know enough to know that he came out and said Imagine was like the ramblings of a young, idealistic fool. And at the end of his days, he was friends with Ronald Reagan. Just know that. I want you to know all of that.
Those were things that all happened. In context, mind you, but they all happened.
And I'll know that Hunter S. Thompson was an abusive piece of crap, and I can never truly enjoy Fear and Loathing again, or anything else.
Oh, you can't. You can't. Someone's art is not necessarily... It's a representation of a person's ideas, so you don't have to necessarily take it from it and go, it's terrible. Like, Imagine is a beautiful piece of work.
Right.
It's a wonderful idea. We can take it. We can take it for what it's worth, and know that everyone's imperfect, you know.
Sure, everybody's imperfect. Like for me, I will probably have more toys than I ever buy my own children. Like the day I die, if I have children, they will burn those toys in a bonfire.
Yeah.
Like every action figure I've ever collected, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I thought I was waiting for this day for him to finally die so I could touch these stupid toys, and now I'm just angry at them."
Yeah, no, they're gonna pour a bunch of kerosene on the toys, and they're gonna get one of those long matches so they can actually write something out, and on the side of that match they're gonna write, "I could have gone to college, you fuck," and then throw the match. Everyone will sign it, you know. All the siblings get together.
Right. I think you're grossly exaggerating how many times I'm actually going to have children.
I just had like 3 people mad right then. It's not an insurmountable number.
All the siblings. Like, there's like 9 of them.
Yeah. It wasn't... it's still just a match I'm talking about. There was not a lot of signing space.
Well, Dad originally only wanted one kid, and then, you know how he's the collector.
Yeah.
Once he had one, he had to have the whole set.
Yeah.
So he had like 20 kids.
No, that is what would happen to you too, though, you poor bastard. You're going to have like 8 girls and then one boy because you had to have both.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Every time crossing your fingers in the delivery room, like, oh.
No, absolutely not. You know, I think I can handle not being that much of a completist.
I would hope, because it's expensive.
I've heard.
Roughly $250 per pop these days to actually have a kid. Get it out of your house at an appropriate age.
Yeah. Well, you know, people are crazy with what they spend. You know what I mean?
I think that's the low estimate.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
there's probably a fair amount of people listening going like, yep, that feels right. Damn it.
Yeah, you know, you can skimp, you can cut corners, you know. That sounds awful. I'm moving on. This is awesome.
I don't want to explore that territory.
I don't want to explore either. I don't either. Patrick Wilson, man. Oh, man. Hollywood Reporter tweeted out, why are bad guys in superhero team-up movies always faceless drones? Patrick Wilson, the man we know is going to play Ocean Master, replied, not for long.
That's well done, Patrick. Well done.
Humbly bowing, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. So this is weird. There are rumors that WB is looking at Jordan Peele, the guy that just, of Key and Peele, and who also just directed Get Out. They're looking to him to perhaps helm the Akira movie, the adaptation of Akira, which is an anime. And believe me, with the numbers that Ghost in the Shell are pulling in right now, they are going to be making Akira. Which Leonardo DiCaprio is apparently attached as producer for that.
So that's going to happen.
But they're also talking to Jordan Peele, though, about The Flash.
I have no idea what to say about that.
I'm not completely on board. I think he would be a better fit for Akira than he would The Flash.
I really have no idea. I don't know the guy's directorial catalog. I don't know what to do with that. I really don't.
Well, like, watching Key and Peele, like, and I haven't seen, like, all of it.
I just see it when it's one of those clips where somebody says, oh my God, you have to see this.
But, you can tell kind of which one is which. Like, a Jordan Peele sketch is a lot darker.
Okay.
And a lot more, like, horror-based. That's why, like, as soon as, I saw Get Out, and I was like, oh. Like, suddenly, because I was like, I had no idea which one was which. I was just like, I don't watch enough of it to know. But
no, they're literally
invested in their actual lives.
They're literally two people whose names I've always heard at the same time and whose faces I've already seen at the same time.
Sure.
That's it. I literally didn't even invest myself enough to figure out who was Key and who was Bill.
Yeah, no, me either. But as soon as I saw the trailer for Get Out, I went, oh, like 7 sketches popped into my mind that I know he directed. Or wrote,
I don't think I've ever
I
seen
know he was
7
involved
sketches. I mean, I can only name you 2 sketches that I know about from Key and Peele, and it's like I think it's the giraffe thing with the fucked up names and the angry Obama translator.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Those are both good. It's like I've never been directed to a Key and Peele sketch and thought, oh, that was crap. I've always thought, well, that was fantastic. But I never had time to go back and pull up episodes on Comedy Central's streaming service and go for it.
I'm gonna send you some links.
All right.
There's some really good stuff.
I'm not arguing. It's
anyway.
never come into my never gotten on my radar.
Yeah, I don't know. He might do a good job. I would be interested to see what he pulls out with the Flash, though. I kind of don't think that he's right for it, but again, I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll be honest.
I don't know. At
this point, I think Ezra Miller is so right for it that I don't know how bad it is. Like I don't know how bad you'd have to fuck up the director. Mm-hmm. I at this point, I think Ezra Miller knows as much about the Flash as probably Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
That seems like a tall order. But every time you see this guy in an interview, do you not think like, man, he's been doing his research?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with Ezra. So everything else I'm concerned about with the Flash.
I mean, you should be. Just logistically, you should be.
Yeah. So, moving on to Nightwing, I guess. Actually, kind of Young Justice. We should have talked about this in the DC TV, and maybe you put it in there. I didn't see it in there.
I don't have anything in Young Justice, so go for it.
Yeah. So Dave Franco, they were talking to Dave Franco, comicbook.com was talking to him. They asked if he was playing the Riddler, coming back and playing the Riddler in Young Justice Season 3. He said, only if you beg for it. No one is knocking on my door, but you tell them, and I am there. But on whether or not he would play Nightwing, he says, absolutely. Again, it is one of those things that you can literally go to anybody, but I'm here if they want me. I do not want him as Nightwing.
Didn't like him?
Dave Franco? He is great. He was one of the bright spots of that last terrible season of Scrubs. And I'm happy as all hell for him that he,
med school
gets to spend a life with he gets to spend a life with Allison Brie, and that seems like it's a lot of fun. But on the other hand, if you're talking about him playing Nightwing, I'm gonna say he has two looks. He has a look that says, I just farted, and I'm super happy about it. Mm-hmm. And he has a look that says, I'm either trying to hold in a shit or trying to push one out.
All right, so you're saying, though, is that he'd be a great soap opera actor.
He looks goofy
in the tradition of his siblings.
No, if someone came to me and said, hey, what do you think about James Franco for Nightwing? I would say, maybe, I don't know. Let's see.
I would say no, just no.
Dave Franco, though, I would absolutely say no. No. And he did crack me up. No on James?
No, James Franco, no, Nightwing. Nope.
I think he could do it.
No. He
Why?
It's not even a point against him. It's that he makes me laugh too much. I want to be able to take him seriously, and I can't take, there's a percentage at which I want to take Nightwing seriously, and there's a percentage at which...
Have you seen Freaks and Geeks?
Some of it, not all of it, no.
He can do serious, man. He can do serious.
All right.
James Franco can do anything he wants to do.
I'll take your word for it.
But Dave Franco, he always has a goofy look.
But it's like 60-40. I want it's like 60% of the time I want Nightwing to be, the guy who could probably take Batman if you really had to pick him out. Yeah. And then 40% of the time I want him to be the guy that still makes Barbara laugh,
Yeah. I think I'm leaning toward Ian Somerhalder.
Don't know.
You remember the guy that played Adam Knight on Smallville?
Oh God. Yeah, I think so.
He was also I think he's in the Vampire Diaries or some such bullshit. But
yeah,
he was also on Lost, and he was amazing on Lost. He was super good on Lost. Like the kid can act when he's not continually thrown into CW crap. He can act, and he can act on those shows too. It's just I don't watch those shows. I don't care.
The CW does tend to take a hit in these matters.
For some reason, I hate that. I really hate that. But
look, sometimes they deserve it. Sometimes they don't. It depends.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know about Nightwing. I don't want Dave Franco there, though. I like Dave Franco, just not for Nightwing.
I guess, I'll have to go with you. I could do without it.
Yeah. So, Jeff Johns at WonderCon said that the upcoming the upcoming DC movies have heart, humor, and heroics. This is a thing that he's been championing for a while now. So we say hooray, and we move on with our day. Mm-hmm. And hope that that's true.
Yep.
Interesting thing here, though. Aaron Sorkin.
Okay.
Why
not get involved, Aaron Sorkin? Sure.
Right.
What you got?
Aaron Sorkin told comicbook.com, I happen to have meetings coming up with both DC and Marvel. I have to go into these meetings and tell them as respectfully as I can that I have never read a comic book. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I've never been exposed to one. So I'm hoping that somewhere in their library is a comic book character that I'm going to love and that I'm going to want to go back and start reading from the first issue on.
I don't know what that means, but I'm very excited.
I'm very excited. I like Aaron Sorkin.
Yes, I do. I really do.
If Firefly didn't exist, Studio 60 might be my favorite show.
Yeah, it's probably accurate, yeah.
I don't know what to
and
tell
like
you.
while I'm watching
like
Studio, like if I went back and rewatched Studio 60 right now, about 4 episodes in, I would think this is my favorite show of all time. This is it.
The Newsroom was solid.
Newsroom was solid.
It had
West Wing, as much as I've seen, was pretty damn good. He does have like a weakness for having the worst theme songs of all time.
He does.
It's weird.
Have you seen the commercials for his masterclass on screenwriting?
No. How's that?
The commercial's pretty interesting. It makes me want to plunk down whatever money they're charging for.
Does it have bad theme music?
No. But I mean, it has the masterclass.
I just figured like Green Light Fever was going to be like the theme song for it somehow.
The trailer for it features him talking to like a writing workshop, and he tells them, he's like, I haven't seen an episode of The West Wing since I left. So I was there for the first 4 seasons. What we'll be doing in this workshop is we're going to be breaking episode 501.
Nice.
And, he talks about dialogue.
I'm going to retread this thing I haven't looked at in a while.
Right?
See what happens.
And,
by the way, also, I can't leave this. Sports Night. I loved Sports Night. It was one of the greatest experiments ever in what happens if you have a laugh track for one season and not for another. Mm-hmm. Like it's everyone who's ever been interested in the development of television should go back and watch Sports Night, just because season 1, you have the framing, you have all the normal accoutrement to a laugh track. Season 2, they change some of how they film it. No laugh track. It's an entirely different show, but it's like they took the same show, made it different. It's this wild experiment, and the show itself is actually good because he does make you invest in these characters. Like, I still wish I knew what happened to these characters, and there aren't as many sports jokes as you'd think. So if you're not a sports fan, you can actually still dig in and watch Sports Night, and you'll be fine. Like, there's a few digs here and there, and like there's a John Rocker knockoff thing that's fantastic, but you're gonna enjoy yourself. It's still like classic Sorkin, but it's like him finding his feet and still having a life. It's amazing.
That's the one I haven't seen because of the sports element, and because you told me that there's no ending to it. You don't find out what happened to the characters.
There's not really. No, I really wish there was like a 45-minute special that wrapped it up. I do.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
I'm still gonna go back and watch it. Just damn.
Whether Aaron Sorkin takes on DC or Marvel, which I feel like Aaron Sorkin, and this might be a bias or something, and I'm not really trying to be biased because I love Marvel, but I feel like he would be more geared toward the DC characters.
Yes. Flash in particular, actually.
I say that, and then Aaron Sorkin would probably come out and be like, the Marvel characters are so much more relatable. I'm like, okay. But
no, he doesn't like relatable characters necessarily. He really doesn't. That
might be okay. So if we do if Aaron Sorkin does a DC movie, and suddenly we're dealing with a Superman that acts a whole lot like Matthew Perry's Matt Albee, or you have Superman explaining why America is not the number 1 country in the world.
No. All right, and happened. This is too deep track for us to go too far with it. But if we're being serious here, on Studio 60, Matt Albee is Batman and Danny is Superman.
Oh yeah, totally. No, not even that. Like, I don't feel like Sorkin would even deal with that, and that's exciting to me because Matt Albee, Matt and Danny from Studio 60 are they're totally Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Oh, they are though. Yeah, you're right.
Like a sad and beaten down Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, but in
a weird way, like Amanda Peet is she's not even like Wonder Woman. She's like Zatanna. I feel like we dove into a place where not a lot of people are still familiar with what the hell we're talking about.
No. Yeah, let's move on. We're almost done, guys.
But for like the 4 people who knew what we were talking about, let me know.
You're welcome. We're on Twitter, Facebook. You know where we are.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious. Do you agree?
Yeah, I sort of feel like Jack is maybe Batman.
No, definitely not Jack. No.
You don't think so? Like,
no, Jack is probably Martian.
Oh God, you're right. That's good. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Anyway,
forget about that.
Warner Brothers is apparently creating a VR tie-in for the new VR centers that IMAX is fooling around with these days.
Cool, all right.
Looks like the first tie-in experience is going to be for Justice League, and they're also going to be doing one with Aquaman, and they haven't released what the other one is, but there is going to be 3 of them. And this is a thing that, like, people, the guy actually wrote the article that I got the news from, said that the Age of Ultron VR demo was actually more memorable than the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's rough and possibly fair.
I liked Age of Ultron, but I don't remember a whole lot of it.
I remember all of it. I just don't think about it a lot.
Yeah. James Spader kicked ass. Anyway,
he did.
So that's a cool thing. And I don't know what it means exactly because I'm an old man. Now, my VR experience tie-in. Huh. That sounds...
exhausting.
That sounds like a thing I probably don't want to do.
Yeah.
So they've kind of looked at how much money the how profitable Suicide Squad actually was, and it's the most profitable DCEU movie so far. To give you an idea, and this is just profit, like what the company made from these movies. Here's the rundown of comic book movies. At the top we have Iron Man 3 that made $931.8 million. Avengers Age of Ultron, $382.3. Guardians of the Galaxy, $204.2 million. Big Hero 6, $187.3 million. Captain America Winter Soldier, $166.2 million. Suicide Squad, $158.95 million. Then you have Thor the Dark World, Doctor Strange, Batman v Superman, Ant-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men Days of Future Past, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Man of Steel. I don't know where the Avengers falls in that. That's kind of weird that it's not in there. But that's where they ranked them. That's how they ranked them there in this article.
That part's weird, and also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, why would you throw that in there? Whatever.
Know. I mean, technically it's supposed to be there. I just don't understand why it made that money.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so apparently Suicide Squad, the takeaway is that it didn't do too badly financially, and
good for them.
There you are.
Yeah.
Atlantic Records EVP Kevin Weaver talked about the Suicide Squad soundtrack and how successful it was. He says over 1 billion streams on Spotify alone for the 4 Suicide Squad singles, and this comes only 8 months since the release of the project. Thank you to everyone who rocked these records over and over again all around the world. He also says 1.5 billion streams to date on YouTube on our 4 Squad music videos. Mind-blowing. That's 2.5 billion streams just on Spotify and YouTube alone. Which means there are also stats that...
Is Heathens one of the singles?
Yeah.
All right, so like 3 million of those were just Heathens.
Yeah, and I only remember 2 of them. Heathens and Sucker for Pain.
Yeah.
I don't remember the others.
No idea. But I think there was a purple Lamborghini in there.
Oh, yeah, Purple Lamborghini. Yeah, yep. I remember that one.
Yep.
So apparently Apple Music and Google Play and other services don't make their stats public. So, yeah, that's probably 3 or 4 billion streams.
God only knows.
Richard Suckle, one of the producers on Suicide Squad, said even bigger things are coming for Suicide Squad 2. He says, we must do it again. Just wait for Suicide Squad 2's soundtrack.
It's an okay soundtrack, man. I mean, I'm not like I've jogged to that thing. No. It's fine.
This is a good soundtrack.
It's not like I'm not trying to hate on it. I'm just saying.
No.
Heathens was a solid hit.
Yeah. 21 Pilots is kind of bigger than
everything else combined on that album.
Everything else right now. Yeah. Everything else right now.
Yeah.
Like I actually have my radio set to play like a top 40 station to anger me into the world every day.
Yeah.
Because I won't wake up if it's good music. And but
no, you just sit there dreamily swimming in your good tunes.
Yeah, so I've got to have Meghan Trainor cracking at my brain to wake me up. But unfortunately, it's also turned me into a Tay-Tay and Selgo fan a little bit.
No. Look, we're all Tay-Tay fans. Don't even try. Don't even try to not. We all kind of like her.
Yeah, she's good friends with Selgo, so you can't stop the madness.
What you gonna do?
But importantly, all these months later, they still play Heathens like all the time.
all the time. I was bored with that song before it got on the radio.
Yeah, I like 21 Pilots. I like Heathens. Tired of it, though.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have our giveaway here. Our final review came to us through Stitcher. And this by no means that you, by final, I mean you guys can keep reviewing. Please keep reviewing and giving us good stars and stuff. We're just not giving you anything for it now. But
this is all honor system at this point.
Yeah. But so on Stitcher, Scruff Hip Joint. I think it says something about our audience sometimes, the names that we hear on this show.
All right, Scruff, do you know what that means?
Scruff Hip Joint. I don't know what Scruff Hip Joint means.
No, I mean, I like hip joint, sure, great, okay. Scruff, I have no idea what that means. So, whoever this is, can you please let me know what scruff, and especially scruff hip joint, means?
Yeah.
I am deadly curious now.
We appreciate the review, though. They gave us 5 stars on Stitcher. Said, a show that's like hanging out with you friends. I think they meant your.
Joint.
He says, he or she says, I have my group of friends, but none of them like this stuff. These guys are great. They know their stuff without getting all, actually, it was issue blah, blah, blah on you.
See, here's the fun part. We're slightly incapable of going, it was actually issue blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because our memories are crap.
Yes.
He says it's clear they're fans, and they know a ton about these properties, but they aren't talking over your head all the time, and they aren't talking down to you. Well, most of the time.
So, Mr. Scruff, when would... I didn't want to talk down. Let me know. Let me know when we talk down.
Yeah. I mean, he says, he says we're not talking over your head. After we get done with this segment, we're just talking about Studio 60 and how they equate to the DC universe.
Yes, obviously.
Right. Anyway, he continues, they make me laugh a lot, and I forget that I can't talk to them sometimes while I'm listening. I hope they keep doing this forever, or at least start making something themselves. So while we're not doing it now, like, because we do this show all the time.
Sure.
Maladjusted.tv, dude. We've made a lot of stuff.
We have some actual stuff, but I do love both of those dreams. I would love to continue doing this.
Yeah, I'd like to do this, and I would like to make other things as well at the same time.
And yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, dude, thank you, girl, gal, chick, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever
you're identifying as.
Scruff Hip Joint, thank you so much for your 5-star review and your wonderful, nice things that you said about us.
Love you, man.
You can't yell at us. We can't hear what you're saying when you're doing the thing, when you're listening to the show. But if you talk to us on Twitter and Facebook at DC On Screen or Instagram, we're there too. You can talk to us. We'll respond. Anyway,
I will over on Facebook, and I encourage you to because I want to know more about this scruff factor.
That means giveaway number 4 is complete. We will now use the true random number generator on random.org to pick the final winner of the DC On Screen trade paperback DVD Blu-ray giveaway.
I will not take a drum roll because you've already done it. And
the people entered are as follows. What? The people entered are as follows. Stevens N00, JCH463, Mark Hamill's Smiling Foreskin.
Oh, it's so good. I always wondered if it was like pre or post-op. Was he Jewish?
Oh, by the way, I had a great idea for a mystery novel about a serial killer arsonist who keeps killing moils. It's called Burning the Midnight Moil.
Oh, good. It's told in like journal format, and then like in the last chapter, the it's like interrupted, and there's an addendum written by the actual officer who arrested him.
And he's just a guy who was circumcised, who kind of was just really pissed off because he's like really super OCD and he feels like a piece of himself was missing all these years because of some oil. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Stevens SN00, JCH463, Mark Hamill Smiling Foreskin, Dan Mason 4210, Randy SF1971, Mr. Meeseek, David 12, The Fej, FFEJ, however you say that, T-Mac 420, and Scruff Hip Joint. And the winner of the trade paperback DVD or Blu-ray of their choice is number 5, Randy SF 1971 from iTunes. Dude, Randy, if you have a thing you need, if you have a thing you want, you can contact us, DC on Screen, Facebook,
we got it.
Twitter.
We'll get
$15 or less. Amazon, send us an Amazon link. We'll send it off to you. You gotta give us your address though, or we can't do it. And please go ahead and contact us. And that's it for this episode. We're gonna have our DC TV episode as well coming up. But that's it for the DCEU news episode. Like I just said, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, DC on Screen. One word. We're easy to find. We are on DCOnScreen.com. Every episode is on DCOnScreen.com. It's not like one of these bullshit podcatchers that just shows you like the last 150 episodes. This thing gives you all, 350, oh my lords.
Everyone.
So,
we have been here since the plot of Supergirl leaked.
That was like episode 2, wasn't it?
I think it was 1. I'm not sure even.
Was it? Okay. So,
but it was at least around like that area-ish.
It was. So, thank you so much for listening to this entire episode. It was not as long as I thought it was going to be, surprisingly. But we've still got DC TV to go. So we're proud members of the Giant Size. We're proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, GiantSizeTeamUp.com. Lots of cool shows over there. If you like this show, you might like some of those, or maybe not. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know what you like, weirdo. That's right, Dave. Alienate your fans. Yeah. Until next time, guys, keep some DC on your screen.